because apparently he does not get enough shout-outs. So, I'm going to leave my sources anonymous. You know what? I always, I seem to lose bets to Doug a lot of times, even though I win.
But he doesn't hold it over.
But he doesn't stay angry about it at all. He's just passionate. The guy just shows a lot of passion and heart.
Hey, Sherman, before we look forward, can you clarify last week who had the ball at the bottom of the pile?
Well, you know what? That's obviously up for debate. I was a person who thought I had it. The ref was a person who thought he had it. The other team obviously thought they had it, so I guess that's the one they ended up going with.
What goes on under there? What was happening that nobody could see?
I guess a lot of things nobody wanted to see. It's the bottom of a pile. I think it's an experience to be had. But I mean, I felt like we had the ball, and we should have had. Our offense should have got another possession, but it's not here nor there, and obviously they didn't review it, and we got to move on.
You hear the whistle.
Well, we heard the whistle probably in the middle of the scrum. They blew the whistle, and we had it, yeah. But they got to pull everybody off, and then eventually they pull the ball out and tell us we move back to the old spot. Something about you can't fumble forward.
The ref took the ball from who? You? Or
from the pile. Yeah.
There were a couple guys.
There were more than one hand on it when he got it.
Sherman, you see enough intensity and emotion for 60 minutes out of this team, 46 guys.
I think the intensity's fine. I think, obviously in games like we've had these last couple of weeks, it's just a few plays here and there. It comes down to, I think all games are won or lost a few plays, and I think anybody that knows football will tell you the same. I think the effort was fine. I think, obviously some of the execution could have been better on both sides of the ball, but I think at the end of the day we had a shot to win it, and we didn't make the plays that we needed to do at the end to get the win.
It's been a long time since this team has lost 3 games out of 6. How do you guys kind of move past that? How have you handled it up to this stretch and coming back to practice today?
I think we've handled it fine. You handle wins and losses the same. You treat the 2 imposters the same, and you continue to move on and treat the next week like a championship opportunity. And I think that's what our team is doing. I think our team is mature enough to move past those losses and continue to grow and continue to, improve.
How much have quarterbacks not getting knocked down as much or affected as much change your game in the back?
We haven't changed much, of any part of our game. I think, the plays are there to be made, and we just haven't made them. Balls haven't bounced our way, as indicative of what happened at the end. Even when the ball does bounce your way, it doesn't bounce your way. You don't catch the breaks every year, and this year we just, haven't caught the same breaks that we caught before, and we gotta play better football, and I think that's coming in the future.
Pete said today the interceptions come in bunches. Do you find that the turnovers kind of have the momentum of their own?
They do. They do come in bunches, and we're waiting for the opportunity, because once it starts rolling, it really gets rolling fast, and it continues week in and week out. And I think we just gotta stay after it. I think we'll find our rhythm and we'll be fine.
I know you said going into the year that the emphasis they were going to have on illegal contact and things like that wouldn't change anything about how you or the team played. Do you still feel that way now that you guys are into it?
I still feel the same way. I don't think I've been called for illegal contact. I think I got 1 PI. I don't think it's changed the way we play at all. You know, I think it's all the same to us. You know, calls are going to go your way and not go your way, either, you know, throughout the season, regardless of what the emphasis is and, you know, what this, that, and the second is. But I think our team has done fine in that regard. I think, like I said before, the breaks just aren't coming our way.
Richard, the numbers seem to show there's a real lack of a pass rush currently and pressures. Do you feel that in the secondary, having to hang on to receivers a little bit longer?
Not really. Not really. I don't think, you know, we've felt like quarterbacks have had extra time or anything like that. I mean, you know, it's been tight coverage. They've gotten the ball out fast. And, you know, but rushing coverage has to work together. We have to find a way to stop those short passes and get them to hold the ball a little longer. And that's what we're going to continue to work on and continue to improve on.
Richard, you spoke well of Harvin after the game Sunday. Has this whole controversy left an emotional mark?
I don't think it leave an emotional mark. You know, I think, you know, the longer you're in this game, the more you realize of how much of business it is, and you try not to mix business with personal. And, you know, obviously he's a friend, he's a teammate. But, you know, at the end of the day, you got to come to work and, you know, you work with who we have. And that's what we do. You know, obviously a lot of people have come and gone from this place in my time here. And that's one of the part of the businesses that you have to find a way to get used to.
What's the challenge to playing Cam, even though he's maybe not playing 100%?
I mean, there are a lot of challenges to playing Cam. I mean, obviously he's a threat running the football. He's a big body. He's tough to sack. It's going to be a challenge for our defensive line, our linebackers, and our defense as a whole of containing him. You know, he has a big target in Kelvin Benjamin, who he's like to get the ball to. Olsen is having a great year, and I think he's comfortable in his role, and obviously has matured over the years and become a good quarterback. So we have to be aware of all things he can do.
Does it make your job tougher as a defensive back? Not only do they have to cover the receivers, but then you have to watch for the guy breaking contain, kind of have your eyes in both places at once?
Not really, because that's it's not your responsibility. You know, at the end of the day, you're responsible for what you have to do. And if he breaks contain and breaks the line of scrimmage, then you rally up and you tackle him as a team. But it's not something you think about consciously during the play, because you're more focused on doing your job, and the D-line is more focused on doing their job, and that's what allows you to play great disciplined defense.
Could you have imagined a closer passer rating at 103?
I couldn't, but obviously that's what it is. You know, it happens. You know, I think we'll find our rhythm, and I think we'll get it lowered, and good football will come, and we'll win ball games.
How would you describe this mood of this team? Are you guys angry, or is it patient because you know they got a long time to go?
I think it's confident. You know, I think the team's still confident in what we can do. Still confident in our abilities. I mean, if we were 3 losses were to ruin the season, then it would have ruined last year's season too, because we lost 3 then too. I think our team is fine and understands what we need to do to turn it around, and is confident in our ability to do that.
Farrell had waited so long to play last week. Was he a little bit overamped, and do you kind of say anything to him at that point to make sure he keeps emotions in check a little bit?
Well, you know, I mean, if you wait 2 years to get on the field, man, you're gonna be out there hyped up, and you know, obviously, you know, he's got some things to figure out, but I think, you know, it's good to get him out there and get his first start and get his legs under him. I think he played well. You know, unfortunately, he rolled his ankle early on and wasn't able to finish, but I think he'll be fine. He'll settle down.
From a coverage standpoint, do you feel the mix between when you guys are in zone and man is similar to what it is last year, or are you relying more on one than the
I think it's similar. I think it's similar to what it was last year. I don't think it's changed very much. I think we still, have a decent mix of both in there. Mix it up when we need to. Tell you the truth, I don't think much has changed since last year.
When you are in zone, do you feel like opponents are checking the ball down more than in the past?
Maybe. I think obviously they're attacking underneath the zones a little more than they did last year, I guess. But we're still there making plays. We're still getting them the third down. We just, it might be a penalty here, or a tip pass here, or a scramble and a stumble for a yard here. And, those plays are the plays we can't have. And, those are the little breaks that I was talking about before.
How much do you think Chancer's been bothered or affected by his injuries?
I don't think he's been bothered as much, in the early games. I think last game it kind of flared up on him a little bit. And, he was able to overcome it and continue to play in the game. But obviously, anytime you have an ankle injury, takes a lot. We're doing a lot of dynamic movements on the ankle, so, it can get sore. But he's fought through and done a great job.
Anything else?
Thank you.